Hello, how are you?
Hello.
It's us, Rev'd Up. And we want to have another Rev'd Up conversation with you. When the topic is about not missing opportunities and being open to opportunities and what that looks like. It could look like a stranger. It could look like somebody who you would never even have a conversation with, but they turn around and give you a mouthful that changes your life and changes how you look at things. It's important for us to not be closed-minded because we're not an island and we need each other, but also sometimes there's messages out there that we're going to get through people who we just don't know.
Right.
We can find out that there's a missing piece of the puzzle and that the information that you gain or you get from somebody else helps you to put that puzzle together.
Right. Have you ever had an experience, and I know that I do this a lot, where, I'm quietly thinking to myself, oh, I need help with an issue that's going on, whether it's going to be, something at home or maybe it's going to be something in business. Like I'm really struggling with something. And then out of nowhere, you'll see a piece of information or you'll see a message come just out of the blue and just kind of, it seems like it's pointed straight at you. Right. It just resonates.
Yes.
I call that opportunity.
Yes.
And it's knowing to not brush that off. It's not a coincidence. It happened for a reason. And I truly believe that opportunities come at you when you have an open mind. So when you're open to receiving them, they will come. But the hard part is knowing when to accept them and when to go after those opportunities and not just shrugging it off and dismissing it. Because taking an opportunity when it knocks could really change the course of your life.
Right. And it doesn't, and sometimes, we're planted in places for a season for a specific reason. I don't want to sound, like I'm trying to rhyme or rap. We're planted in the season for a special reason, but at the end of the day,
I didn't even connect that.
I heard it in my mind. But I think that you have to understand that there's opportunities in your seasons. Like, when I went through what I went through and I ended up landing or being put in a different place or position, I never looked at it as a bad thing because I knew, first of all, I trust that my Father who art in heaven is taking care of me no matter where I am. But I also knew that, it was a season that I was in and I didn't know where it was going to take me, but I knew that it was an opportunity in that time for me to get well, to be built back up. So I didn't take it for granted. And I knew, and in that place where I am, I was able to learn how to really be of help to other people. So it was an opportunity, it wasn't and it was a big shift in what I was doing. But it certainly wasn't a shift downward. It was a shift upward. So there's opportunity. It is all in how you look at things,
Yeah, your perspective.
And it's important, like you said, to have an open mind, because when you have an open mind, and I don't mean just letting anything go into your mind, because you got to be careful with that too, but that you look at things from the right perspective. You look at things from a positive, open-minded perspective so that you can win, and that's,
and I feel it's about keeping your options open. There have been several points in my life where I feel like I've been, just going along the same way, doing the same thing, but somehow it feels like I'm hitting my head against the wall and I can't move forward. So instead of, yes, it's frustrating, but what are you going to do about it? It just means that you have to, I know it's a popular word and people say it all the time, but pivot, but it's true. I mean, you really just have to find a new opportunity and go a different way and just have the courage to try something new. And even if it's something that is maybe out of your typical character, something that normally you'll be way too scared to do.
Or you feel like, I'm not doing that.
Right. Just try it.
Try it.
You don't know until you try it.
You never know what path you will, where the path will lead. In most cases, the paths that, if you're open-minded and you're positive, you're going to learn, it's going to be a good path because you'll learn something along the way that you didn't know before. And that's learning is what is important. It's important for us to learn something every day, learn something new so that your brain can continue the muscle can continue to be contracted. If you're just doing the same things every day, day in, day out, you get the same results.
Exactly.
And you don't feel a sense of, for me at least, and I'm sure you, Tina, a sense of, wow, I feel good. I feel empowered. I feel strong. I feel when you get into the mundane, same day, same in and out, every day. So, look for ways to improve yourself by looking at things from an opportunity standpoint. I think it'll help you. It'll help you in your daily grind and in your mental health.
Yes, and that goes along with sometimes you have to set aside the notion that I can do it all by myself. So sometimes you have to just be open to asking for help or reaching out for help, and when an opportunity comes for you to learn something new, that you're going to take it. You're going to learn something. You're going to take that information to improve your processes, to really overhaul whatever it is that you're struggling with.
Yeah, and just know too, none of us know it all. None of us, and so there lies that opportunity again to learn from somebody else. If you really open your mind up to know and to receive, and in a very humble kind of way, that you just don't know it all, but somebody else may know a little more than you, even a lot more than you. And if you're willing to learn to listen, it could just change your life.
So how do you think that would relate to, say, in a business sense, like being opening yourself up for something new and new opportunities?
Yeah. So even if we were to lay our card on the table here, Rev'd Up Consulting, right? We, in our own respects, have, I think, done very well, in our lives, in our personal lives, and in our professional, when we work for other organizations. But making a decision that, hey, I have something to offer. I see gaps, and I know that they may not be, they haven't been addressed to the best way possible. So then we, look at how can we be a help, or how can we fill these gaps? That's having an open mind.
Right.
And then we take it a step further and say, well, we can create some informational pathway.
Like an online course.
So that people who may not have the time to really dissect what it is that's going wrong in their practice. And we've had opportunities because we've seen it, day in and day out. And then we talked about it. We wrote about it. We built, coursework around it so that those people who sign up for the courses would have an opportunity, open mind, keywords, buzzwords here, to learn and to be better. So, in business, back to what you said, like, how could I tie it into business? It's just that we looked at, Rev'd Up Consulting was formed because we knew there was an opportunity to fill some gaps in healthcare as it relates to revenue cycle and how things are flowing in a practice, or not flowing. And so that's, by way of opening our minds up and saying, hey, we have the tool, we have what it takes.
Let me learn from someone else who gets it, right? And someone who can encourage me along the way.
Yes. I think that's, that's key.
And knowing how to spot that opportunity when it comes at you is key.
Right. Right. And seeing and having the right heart, the right mindset, those things will come. The people will be placed in your pathway, or that book will be put on I remember somebody gave me a book, and it was the most amazing thing. Somebody gave me a book to read. Well, literally what it was there was somebody throwing away books. And I was like, why are these books being thrown away? Like, oh, this was left in somebody's office and they don't need it. And I said, well, give me that book. And the person sat the book on my desk. I said, oh yeah, you can have it. I read the book. I looked at the book, and it was such confirmation for me of working with Tina to create this course, because the content in that book, it seemed like it was my book. Now, of course, I'm not saying it was Rev'd Up management, but the things that the person was saying spoke to me. So my mind was open, the dots were connected in terms of this perfect stranger who was throwing away books.
And that is not coincidence whatsoever. It's not that is a sign.
That was a confirmation that,
that is a concrete sign.
Move forward with what you're doing, because it's something, first of all, it's needed. And you just got to stay open. You got to be, know that your steps are ordered and that you're on the right path.
Right. And you'll know that it's the right path for you when you're just doing it and it just feels right.
Right.
And I feel like in that opportunity, or in that vein, our partnership, we leaned into it. We leaned into opportunity because we met as coworkers. We became friends, but we found out that we have a lot of similar principles and similar teaching styles. And we both wanted to help more people than we could just in a traditional sense. Yeah. So just leaning into, is there an opportunity to create something?
Right.
Like, how could we, do something new? How could we go against the normal path and just create something that's going to really help a lot of people? And really just leaning into the whole process of creation, I think has been really just exhilarating for me. Yeah. I'm sure for you too. Yes. And just working together as a partnership, because we know that we have a lot of great things to share. And we have a lot of things that a lot of organizations and businesses and people can benefit from.
Absolutely. And the beautiful part about what we created, I would say, is initially we didn't create it with this in mind. The end result,
definitely evolution.
Yes, it was an evolution, but we've been building. And I think that's important for everybody to know that, Rome wasn't built in a day, and great things take time to formulate and to settle. And so when we initially came together and said, let's, collaborate and let's think about how we want to do things business wise, it was a very different structure.
Almost a different world back then. Yes. I think this has not been an overnight idea by any means. I think it was back in maybe 2017 when we first kind of had the seeds of, talking about let's collaborate, let's do something new. And, over the years, it has just evolved to up to this point.
Yep. And I'm excited about what, the future and how it will continue to evolve and grow, because I believe that, when the seed is planted and it waters, it grows and it blooms, but different things bloom. Well, of course, if you plant an apple seed, you're going to get apples, but no apple is going to be the same. Right. And so no branch will be the same. So at the end of the day, I'm just excited about what we will, what our tree will look like.
Yeah, I like that. It's very poetic.
Sometimes I can be poetic too.
Yeah. So if you have an open mind and are ready to lean into opportunity, then we're definitely ready to help be your cheerleaders, your coaches, and we hope that we can help you out. So check us out at our website at www.revdupconsulting.com. And there also is a webpage available for our new online course called the Revenue Cycle Foundations course. And it's a lot of information that we think can help a lot of organizations. So check us out.
Please. And thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.